Alright guys, how's it going? It is Monday the 20th of July 2020 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright, so I want to talk to you about Diego Carlos. He is the Sevilla centre-back, he's Brazilian, he's 27 years of age. He signed for them in 2019. He was heavily linked with us last year. There were claims at one particular time, I think it was... I'm really confused because with the suspension of football, the months and everything and the football calendar, it's all over the place. But I think it was around December time, the end of last year, that it was widely reported that a deal had been done. Not like, oh, it was going to be done or it might be done. It's done. It's all done. Liverpool have captured the signature. It was well publicised. Ahead of the January transfer window, and I was like, well, I haven't fucking heard anything, so I want to fucking, do you know what I mean? I was just like, no, it's not happening, I don't believe it, and it didn't materialise. Now, since then, he's continued to be linked with us. I'm sure you'll have seen his name, here and there. Now, reports originating from Spain now claim that Sevilla are willing to entertain offers for him when the transfer window opens, okay? And that they would be looking for less than his contract release clause. They'd be willing to negotiate, in other words. Now, I think his contract release clause is 75 million euros. That works out at 68.4 million pounds. But there is a suggestion is that they would come down by 15 million euros to 60 million euros, which takes it to 54.7 million pounds. Now, that still is not going to interest Liverpool, is it? How old did I say? 27? Yeah, 27. It's not happening. And there's a lot of people talking about it today. And Manchester City are also said to be interested in him, if you choose to believe the reports. I think it's a bit weird. I think that, if I remember rightly, there was suggestions that we had looked at him and he was under consideration, but that there was nothing was going to happen, and that's probably what all that was around December time last year. Was probably people getting a whiff of what was going on, and they putting two and two together and stuff like that. But it wasn't just speculation. People said, "Oh no, it's done." Not people that I know, but what I'm saying is people that you guys or me would read online. I'm sick of these fucking lights in here showing up. Every bit of fucking fluff going, you know what I'm saying? It's a good job you don't show up every bit of fluff, isn't it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the situation is the boss was looking for a centre-back, but now there are suggestions that he might try and hold on to Lovren for another year, thus preventing him from having to splash the cash. Because we're skint. Has anyone told you we're skint? Right? Anyway, prior to that, those suggestions about Lovren, I expected us possibly to make a move for Brighton and Hove Albion defender Ben White, who's been on loan at Leeds United, who've just been promoted. I'm chuffed to bits. Leeds are a special club to me. I've got a lot of family members support them. And they're a big club. I'd rather have them in the Premier League than Man City. Do you know what I mean? Or Chelsea. Leeds United, very respectful of Liverpool as well, and I hope that they stay up. So I'm absolutely delighted that they're up. Anyway, Ben White was fantastic for Leeds United. However, I did speak to my cousin that's a Leeds fan the other day, and he was like, not sure he'd make it at top four. And I was like, really? I said, we've had a Liverpool scout assigned to him for ages, which we have, specifically watching him, guys. I'll get you his name in a minute. And he went, oh, but then again, he went, maybe I'm just being a bit fucking negative, So I don't know. The people that I know, that I speak to regularly about football, and people that are associated to Liverpool, insist that Liverpool have been watching him, and many thought that they would go in for him this year. But the COVID situation has kind of thrown that all over the place. Now, back in February, I wrote an article titled "Liverpool Continue to Monitor Ben White." And I put here that the Liverpool scout Andy O'Brien, Obrien, was assigned to him. Now, if you look him up on LinkedIn, you'll get his profile. I keep getting these security checks. I can't be asked. He's basically been assigned at Elland Road on behalf of Liverpool Football Club, watching him. Okay. Now, obviously, just because he watched him doesn't mean that we're going to make a move for him. But that was the suggestion. The suggestion was that Ben White was being looked at considerably by Jurgen Klopp and that he was liking what he was seeing. Because one thing I did say to my cousin was, all right, I said, but what about under Klopp? And he went, that's a good point, actually. So I don't know, but I'm just letting you know what people think. Now, other defenders that Liverpool, centre-backs that Liverpool had been linked with was Bournemouth's Nathan Ake. He's 25. We made an inquiry about him at the end of last summer, I believe, on the very last day of the transfer window. And also Leipzig's Dayot Upamecano. Is that how you pronounce his name, guys? You know what I'm like, can't help it. He's 21. They've been linked with us. And also, last week, I think you'll find, there was a suggestion that we may make a loan offer for Espanyol centre-back Leandro Cabrera, 29. He's with Espanyol. He only made the switch there from Getafe in January when a €9 million release clause was activated. However, reports in Spain state that Cabrera has a relegation clause in his contract that enables him to leave in the summer, providing any interested club picks up his wages, which is £2.7 million sterling. It was Luis Suarez scored against Espanyol to confine them to relegation. They secured a 1-0 victory at the Nou Camp and sent one of Spain's most prestigious clubs to the Segunda Division. It's the first time that Espanyol have been relegated since they won promotion to La Liga in 1994. As a result, Cabrera is now expected to be plying his trade elsewhere next season. I'm reading this from a news article on KopTalk.com on the 14th of July, so about a week ago. So Leandro Cabrera is another name that Liverpool have been looking at. I'm making the video today in relation to Diego Carlos because I don't actually think there's anything happening with regards to that, guys. And I'm sure you would agree, even if you just look at the valuation and say, all right, they're going to accept less money for him, £50 million would not be of interest to Liverpool. And as we know, many of us expect maybe Lovren will stay on at Liverpool for another year. So that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. So if you see anything about Diego Carlos today, he's the lad that everyone said we'd signed. I said we hadn't. Since then, everyone sort of like forgot about it. But it keeps popping up every now and then. But I just won't pay too much attention to it if you're hearing people talking about it. Because I've seen a few people today going, oh, it must be going through then. I don't think it is, guys. All right? So I've been very busy. I've just recorded the KopTalk podcast. That'll be going... in fact, it is live now. I've uploaded it. So if you've got Spotify, Deezer, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any decent podcast apps such as Pocket Casts, just search Liverpool FC KopTalk or KopTalk and you'll get today's episode where I review the news every weekday, etc. and give insight as to what's going on. I've also been writing every day now on my infamous KopTalk book. I started writing it about 15, 16 years ago, got slaughtered for it. I had almost completed it and my laptop blew up at the time. We didn't have things like Dropbox and cloud storage back then. I lost it all. I saved 3 copies of every chapter now on different devices. So I've been working on that. I've got some excerpts that I've been posting on the members website, the KopTalk VIP members website. Do you want to hear some? I was told that the News of the World journalists deployed in the city would never unearth any drug-related dirt on Fowler or McManaman, but it was pointed out to me that a tape existed of something that the paper would love to get their hands on. Apparently, this tape, which was made to sound like a CCTV recording, was locked away in a safe. Why someone would hold on to such, if it even existed in the first place, concerned me, so I reached out to Rick Parry about it. What else have we got? I was tucked away working in my daughter's bedroom on KopTalk one afternoon when Maria burst in. She was this is my ex-wife. We got married at Anfield. She was holding the house phone and had one hand covering the microphone end. She looked startled and was whispering something at me. I had no idea what the hell she was trying to tell me. We continued miming and making hand gestures until I got pissed off and just snatched the phone from her. Duncan, it's Peter Robinson here from Liverpool Football Club. I covered the phone microphone, held the phone behind my back and whispered back to Maria, it's Peter fucking Robinson. She bit back, yes, I know, I just told you that. It was like a scene from a comedy. Hey, guys, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? I've got anything else for you? Well, I don't know. What else can I tell you? I had a very brief chat with Rick Parry, who had been in the city of Belfast to do some shopping prior to the game. He was standing at the bar there, clutching a plastic shopping bag. Isn't it funny how you remember certain things? Most people probably remember him for his fancy ties. I remember him for that bag. No, it's not really exciting, that one, is it? Hey, what about this one, though? It turned out that these passes... I'll start again. It turns out that these were passes to gain access to the players' lounge. Family and friends of the players would be issued with them and they'd hand them over to security at the entrance to the lounge. This particular security officer then recycled them, if you like, and instead of disposing of them, he had kept them hidden away in his suit pocket. Hey, what happened next, guys? What happened next? You need to. I'll get your messages coming in on my watch. So yes, I've been working on my book. There's loads and loads of excerpts on there. My draft chapter titles Why Liverpool, 5,771 words. How it started, 4,744 words. The commercial success, 3,058 words, unfinished, that chapter. The columnist, 9,313 words. That's finished, that's a book in itself. And then The Suits, which is I'm working on at the moment, 2,697 words, which is unfinished. So those titles might change. But I'm finally getting on with this book. It's hung over me for years. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're going to like it. Because I name a lot of people in it as sources and that. And the reason I'm naming them is because they turned out to be a bit snaky. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to name them, and I'm going to name everyone in the media that crossed me, etc., etc. So I think you're going to like it. It's not a shit-stirring book in any description. It's not like that at all. And it's not really like sticking the knife in anyone. It's just more like me just having my right to reply kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But basically, if you've followed Liverpool, and KopTalk over the last 22 years, if you've, my content and you know about all the background and how the site, and all that in the 90s, then you'll find it really of interest, because there was a lot of things... I can't really read. I don't want to read that one out because it's got a name in it. But to do with the proposed takeovers of the club, various attempts by the Kraft family and Sheikh Khalifa and stuff like that. Robert Kraft, of course, the US-based billionaire. You know what I mean? So it's not, by no means will it in any way like make the club look like, you know what I mean? It's not damaging. It's not sensationalized. It's just like. It's just stories, and there'll be a lot of people named in it that you'll know that are journalists or people that have tried to buy the club or tried to buy the club, that were involved in it, that people that I knew and stuff like that. And I'm going to do a chapter on the sources and everything. And I think it'll be really good. I think so. I mean, I'm not a fucking writer. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to be a writer. That's something I aspire to be. So I hope that you're going to like it. I'm going to try and get it out before the end of the year. But I've just been speaking to some of the members, and Andy Clark there, for example, on the members' website said this is super interesting, and then he's put forward some other suggestions that I should maybe touch on in the book. And so anyway, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot because I'm busy working on it every day, and it's so difficult right now. So I've got the fucking podcast, I've got the videos, I've got the website, now I've got the book, but I'm trying to do it. I want to do it for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And if I get bumped off after the book's written, at least you got to read all the secrets from over the years. And I'll tell you what, right? The chapter on the sources will be really good, because I'm not gonna, I'm gonna protect everyone that's good, but I'm gonna tell you about some of the positions that people are in or were in. For example, one of the sources one time that provided me a complete flight manifest or whatever it's called, when they were flying, the club were going somewhere on a pre-season tour, and a lot of people were like, is that new sign, stuff like that, and I got the full fucking thing sent to me by the pilot of the aircraft. Do you know what I'm saying? The full squad, everything, all the club dignitaries and everything. It's fucking great, man, honestly. Can you tell I'm excited? Right, I'm off. I'll speak to you later. I'll be back with you tomorrow, guys. All right, man, love you.